Hi, you're probably wondering why I'm using a text-to-speech tool. It's because I don't like the sound of my own voice. This is a video on my upcoming plans on my thesis film over the winter break and breaking down what I'm going to do. First and foremost, I want to try and fix the proportions of fixing the flying whale at the beginning title of the film, as it appears choppy and disproportionate of what I want it to look like. Also probably noticed that my film feels very choppy throughout its development and hasn't made a ton of progress. This is due to the fact that I want to draw on at least 30 frames each time I work on a small section of the film so that it feels more smooth throughout the process of it. I am currently animating on 2s and it takes an unspeakable amount of time for me to draw each frame to make it visually appealing to myself. I am also animating 3s because timing differs in slower scenes. Professor Lee had talked to me about the lack of transitions in my film, in which I'd like to add much later, as I want everything in the animation to look nice before it gets edited in Premiere Pro, or maybe have hand-drawn transitions such as this one. But that's something for the next semester. I plan on working hard on this animation while I'm away, with each scene not looking like the slideshow it appears to be right now. In the next semester, I am also going to work on coloring in everything manually for each frame. This will include solid colors and the basic overlay shading, because I am not going to sit around and think about how each color is going to vary depending on the lighting. It is way too time-consuming and I will not finish on time. My film will also be a silent film, as I wish not to include voice acting for the sake of time and effort. I know a few people who are fantastic at voice acting, but since this film is very personal to me, I want to display an emotion that does not need dialogue. Besides being a silent film, I also will include sound effects while editing this film. I will be putting it on a separate file because Procreate Dreams is still very limited in what it can do, but sound editing is one of its features. I wanted to also include a lot of squash and stretch elements in my animations, as well as secondary action, because I feel as though it would feel very stagnant and lifeless. I had also included some smear frames such as this one. Blink and you'll miss it. I was inspired by a certain friend of mine to include these elements. Thanks to them. If you have any suggestions on what I can do, please let me know. I will not be accepting suggestions for voice acting because this is a very personal film displaying the love of my partner, and having other voices will just feel weird to me. Sorry. For now, that's all the plans that I have come up with and thought about. I also plan on displaying a physical 3D printing of my character, 3D rigging, a 3D animated walk cycle, a 360 of my 3D modeled character, and much more. In any case, here is the progress I have made so far. It still looks stagnant, but I promise you, it'll look way better than it does now.